The morning after Christmas, a towel-headed boy of 11 stood on a kitchen chair in his Philadelphia home. He was waiting for his father. The boy, strong for his year, held over his head a heavy wooden box. When Dad entered the room, the boy clobbered him. Then, having settled accounts or recently received spanking, the boy ran from the house to live with a friend. His name was Claude Duncanfield, the boy who popped Pop in the noggin. And if he never again threatened his father with physical violence, it would not be the last time he wielded heavy objects. For Claude was a juggler, one of the best of his day. If few people remembered him as such, it would be his unconventional antics that detracted from an otherwise respected profession. The antics began early in his career, as you've just read. They would not end with what appeared to be attempted patricide. For Claude, out of the recesses of his fertile imagination, had developed, as a youth, the perfect crime. He found shopkeepers to be the easiest prey. Small shops protected themselves against thieves by bells that rang when the doors opened. Claude would have a friend stand out in the street on the streetcar tracks, with his back to the car. The motorman would ding frantically at the sight of someone in his path. Then Claude would dart through the door of the shop and rob the till while the clanging of the motorman's bell drowned out the shopkeepers. So far as we know, he never got caught, and the confidence of his youth he carried into adulthood. But not as a criminal. Claude was a juggler, a most proficient one, and that talent led to his first job at Fortescue's Pier in Atlantic City. There was no admission charge to the performances at Fortescue's. The management made its profit by selling sandwiches and beer. Claude was engaged as a juggler and a drowner. When business was bad, Claude would get into a bathing suit, wade out until the water was up to his neck, and cry for help. Saved by another employee, he would be carried back to the pier and revived to the excitement of all. A professional drowner. Then barkers urged beer and sandwiches on the crowd that had gathered to watch the stunning rescue. Sometimes Claude drowned 3 or 4 times a day, and juggled 20 times. You caught on. After practicing diligently for 5 years, Claude became a master juggler. Won bookings in the best vaudeville houses. He spent a large part of his early professional life abroad, playing practically every city in Europe. He juggled his way across South Africa to the Indian Ocean, even played the South Sea Islands. But Claude, by then, had become supremely adept in the art that could be appreciated everywhere in the world. In 1914, he became Ziegfeld star and learned to combine juggling with comedy. Then the juggling, though masterful, was phased out of his performances. What was left was an act which he swore until he died he had learned from his mother, that she talked that way. But juggling came hard through years of practice. Comedy came easy to William Claude Duncanfield. You know him as the abbreviated stage name, W.C. Fields. And now you know the rest of the story.